In the animal kingdom, unexpected encounters between humans and wildlife often lead to heartwarming moments. From a wildlife photographer being treated like a pack member by a group of wolves, to a cheetah curiously approaching a tourist's jeep, these heartwarming encounters showcase the capacity for trust and connection between species. We see a seal forming a deep bond with a diver, a kangaroo seeking comfort in a warm hug, and a penguin traveling 5,000 miles each year to reunite with the man who saved its life. Wolves are intelligent and stunning creatures. Once you gain their trust, there's no need to fear them. People often call wolves forbidden huskies, and it's easy to see why. In this video, a pack of wolves approaches a wildlife photographer as if he's one of their own. They seem to treat him like a member of their pack, showing affection by licking him and playing around him. It's clear they feel completely comfortable, sensing he's no threat. The bond between the photographer and these wild animals is truly remarkable, showcasing the wolves' capacity for trust and connection. The fastest predator in the animal kingdom is the cheetah, a creature renowned for its incredible speed. Despite this, we call them cats for a reason, and it is because they are curious. On one occasion, a group of photographers in Africa was on the lookout for captivating animal shots when they encountered a cheetah. This remarkable predator approached their jeep and lingered nearby, curiously observing them and their vehicle. After some time, the cheetah eventually wandered off, leaving the photographers with an unforgettable experience. Ben has been a diver for over 20 years and experienced one of nature's most precious encounters with its majestic creatures. According to Ben, shaking hands with a seal is an incredible feeling. When you gently squeeze its flippers, it squeezes back. In that moment, time seems to stop as you focus entirely on the experience. When a seal approached him, Ben acted cautiously, understanding it was just curious. The seal came so close that he could pet and hug it. Seals are gentle with him, often approaching on their own, and Ben believes they think he's one of them, even teaching him how to dive. Over the years, they've allowed him to observe them, seemingly understanding his presence. Ben has spent 2 decades diving with seals, meeting different ones each time, and learning how to gain their trust. When they realize he's no threat, they act in a completely different, beautiful way. These moments are incredibly special for Ben, as he's committed to observing wildlife without causing any disturbance, ensuring nature is respected. Imagine photographing a lion pride from a safe distance, only to have a curious, huge lion suddenly appear near you, sniffing your equipment. This is the story of when wildlife photographer Graham Springer came across a pride of lions peacefully roaring in the early morning. It was simply another day at the office for him. Underneath his car, Graham was carefully shooting the lion's morning routine from a distance, while his colleague filmed the scene. But then, a frightening encounter unfolded on camera. One particular lioness took a different route and came freakishly close to him. Graham didn't have enough time to get into his car and had no choice but to stand still and wait. The lioness investigated him and his camera gear, her curiosity getting the better of her. Graham was frozen in fear, unsure of what to do next. But eventually, the lioness lost interest and left. It was one of his most nerve-wracking experiences, a reminder of the risks and rewards that come with capturing the beauty of the wild on camera. Here, we have another beautiful encounter. Several cheetahs were playfully interacting while being filmed by tourists. To their surprise, 5 of these cheetahs decided to climb onto the roof of the vehicle, inspecting the situation and frolicking around. One even ventured inside the jeep to greet the tourists and posed for some close-up shots. The cheetahs seemed intent on sitting on the jeep all day, but when the tourists had to leave, the vehicle started moving, prompting the cheetahs to climb down and go their own way. It was truly a wonderful encounter. This cute moment was captured in a zoo, where a cheetah behind the glass was playfully interacting with a little girl. The child, undeterred by the large feline, appeared to be chatting with the cheetah in her own language, her excitement evident.
Ooh, he's scary.
The cheetah, seemingly intrigued and calm, sat nearby, making the interaction even more endearing. The scene was truly adorable, showcasing a heartwarming connection between the young girl and the majestic predator. Bears are undeniably dangerous animals, but photographer Drew Hammond experienced an unexpected and delightful moment while filming a bear's morning routine. As Drew concentrated on his work, a bear quietly approached from behind and sat down beside him. Rather than being aggressive or threatening, the bear seemed calm and content. Drew was astonished as the bear settled next to him, and together they shared a serene moment, both gazing at the waves lapping against the shore. After a while, the bear stood up and wandered downstream to join its companions, leaving Drew with a peaceful, unforgettable memory. Orangutans are our close relatives. In a touching moment, an orangutan, probably a mother, seems to ask a man to show her his baby. Who can resist cute, fluffy babies? You can see in her expression, with her lips puckered, that she looks like she wants to kiss the baby and hold it in her arms. It's a heartwarming and sweet interaction. A photographer was filming an elk from a safe distance in a national park when a young bull elk approached, seemingly ready to challenge him. The photographer wisely kept his distance to avoid any conflict. When the elk noticed that the photographer stayed calm, it became less aggressive, and the photographer took the opportunity to snap some photos. For a while, the elk lost interest in the photographer, but then it seemed to become agitated again, as if it still wanted to fight. The photographer remained calm throughout. As a car arrived to pick up the photographer, the elk sniffed the gear briefly before finally running away. This beluga whale named Tina seems to have a special affection for her zookeeper, almost like she has a crush on him. Tina clearly craves his attention and wants him to notice her. She eagerly receives kisses from him and seems to ignore anyone else who tries to interact with her in the same way. When the zookeeper pets her, Tina makes what are described as love sounds, showing how much she enjoys his company. Even when efforts were made to introduce her to a male beluga, Tina wasn't interested and ignored him. In fact, if anyone tried to approach her while she was with her zookeeper, Tina would even spit water at them, making it clear that she wanted him all to herself. While cycling in South Africa at the Cape of Good Hope, a group of cyclists found themselves with an unexpected companion, a racing ostrich. The bird sprinted alongside them, either stretching its legs or perhaps showing off its speed. If the ostrich had a girlfriend watching, she would certainly have been impressed, as it looked every bit like a champion racer. Penguins from Madagascar are your favorite, and it's easy to see why. Here's a charming moment. A penguin slides towards a wildlife photographer with what seems like affection, possibly hoping for a snack. It approaches, performs a greeting ritual, and curiously inspects the photographer's equipment, allowing for some close-up shots before moving away to pose for more. Later, a group of curious penguins came into the frame of the same photographer, drawn by a mix of curiosity and perhaps the allure of a new visitor. Unlike the single penguin from before, this time there were several, all eager to explore. They waddled up to the photographer, each one taking a turn to investigate. The photographer took advantage of this unexpected opportunity, capturing a series of charming shots of the penguins as they posed and interacted, and then left as they had come. In another enchanting encounter, a baby seal approached a cameraman in a snowy, icy environment. Curious and playful, made a series of curious noises and began to sniff around the cameraman's shoes, seemingly intrigued by the unfamiliar scent. After their time together, the seal eventually left, retreating into the frozen waters beneath the snow, marking the end of a heartwarming and memorable encounter. The sight of this baby walking towards a fawn and interacting with it is incredibly adorable. The fawn seems to enjoy the baby's company and stays close, making the moment even more heartwarming. Here, we have another sweet scene. A fawn surrounded by little girls who are adoring it. The fawn seems to relish their company and gives the girl a few gentle licks on her face. Meanwhile, a photographer captures the adorable moment, and the kids are clearly enjoying the interaction. It's a heartwarming display of affection between the children and the fawn. There's nothing more comforting than a warm hug, and this kangaroo was in need of one. It absolutely loves being held. and you can see how completely at ease it becomes after that long embrace from the woman. Eric, a 7-year-old kangaroo, was rescued as a baby by Linda, who has been caring for him ever since. Linda's love for Eric is evident. She feeds him by hand and gives him hugs, and Eric often comes to her for more affection. She considers Eric her child and cares for him like a baby. After Eric's mother was tragically killed in a car accident, Linda has been his devoted caregiver since he was just a few months old. Although Eric lives in an enclosure with other kangaroos and animals, his bond with Linda is unique. She and her husband provide excellent care for all the animals, and it's heartwarming to see the special connection they share with Eric. Sloths are known for their slow pace, and it can take them hours to cross a road at their top speed. This particular sloth was making its way across the road when a kind man stopped to help it. After gently placing the sloth on a nearby tree, the sloth slowly waved at the man and seemed to smile, expressing its gratitude in its own unique way. Typically, seeing a goose running toward you might make you want to run the other way. However, this goose was not looking to attack. It was running toward a lady for a warm hug. The joy on the goose's face as it embraced her was heartwarming, clearly showing how much it enjoyed the affectionate gesture. Crows are often considered one of the most intelligent bird species in the animal kingdom, with their intelligence level proven scientifically. A wild crow named Sharky has formed a remarkable bond with a woman named Kiara and her dog. Despite being able to fly, Sharky prefers to walk alongside Kiara, a daily routine that has continued for over 2 years. It's clear that Sharky is deeply impressed by Kiara and enjoys spending time with her. Sharky's affection for Kiara extends to joining her in the garden while she reads during the summer. What's more, Sharky has a male partner, and together they have raised fledglings. In a heartwarming display of trust, Sharky has even brought her fledglings to meet Kiara. On occasion, Sharky, her partner, and their fledglings will join Kiara for a walk, creating a beautiful and unique friendship. This extraordinary encounter is a rare and special experience that few people can claim to have had. This encounter is between a man named Vincent and a seal while he was fishing in Coronado, California. The seal jumped onto Vincent's kayak and began to nudge him, eventually nuzzling him and refusing to leave. Despite initial fears that the seal might bite him, Vincent was surprised when it simply hung out on his back for 45 minutes. The seal followed Vincent to shore and eventually had to be coaxed back into the water. Tonga is an African serval, a rare white serval with a unique circular pattern. He is one of only 2 white servals in the world with this pattern. Tonga's white coat is a result of leucism, a condition characterized by partial loss of pigmentation. Despite being a rare breed, Tonga faced a health challenge when he developed skin cancer on his nose. After undergoing surgery, Tonga lost his nose, but has since made a full recovery and has been cancer-free for 4 years. Pharaoh is a 21-year-old serval, also a rare white serval that doesn't occur naturally in the wild. He was bred in captivity through severe inbreeding, a common practice in tigers and lions. Despite being deeply inbred, Pharaoh has lived a long life, which is remarkable. However, he has recently been experiencing some health issues, including a problem with his third eyelid and a lack of appetite. To ensure his comfort and safety, Pharaoh has been moved to a special room at the Bobcat Rehab Hospital, where he can be monitored and cared for. After 20 years in a zoo, 2 dolphins, Gumdung and Daipo, were finally returning to their hometown, the Jeju Sea. Their journey was a long-awaited one, and their zookeepers were both excited and sad to see them go. The dolphins had formed strong bonds with their zookeepers, who had cared for them and fed them for 2 decades. They performed their last show at the zoo, marking the end of an era. As they said their goodbyes, the zookeepers couldn't help but wonder if the dolphins would thrive in the wild. As they swam in the familiar waters, they began to catch prey on their own, a crucial step towards their independence. On the day of their release, they were finally free to roam the ocean. But in a surprising turn of events, Gumdung returned to the net. as if to say goodbye to his zookeepers one last time. A silverback gorilla named Jambo and a female gorilla named Binti demonstrated extraordinary compassion and protection towards young children who had fallen into their enclosures. The first incident occurred in 1986 at a zoo in England, where a 5-year-old boy fell 20 feet into the gorilla pit and became unconscious. Jambo, the silverback gorilla, tenderly approached the boy and patted him on the back, keeping other gorillas at bay. When the boy woke up and began to cry, Jambo gave zookeepers the opportunity to rescue him. In a similar incident at the Chicago Zoo, a 3-year-old boy fell 20 feet into the gorilla exhibit. Binti, a female gorilla, picked up the injured boy and cradled him in her arms. In a remarkable display of intelligence and compassion, Binti carried the boy to the cage door and stepped away, allowing zookeepers to rescue him. Imagine being on a safari adventure in Tanzania, surrounded by the breathtaking beauty of the Serengeti National Park, when a curious cheetah suddenly jumps inside your Jeep, leaving you frozen in awe. The cheetah, seemingly unafraid of humans, climbed inside the vehicle, surprising both passengers and onlookers alike. The guide's advice was to remain calm and still, avoiding eye contact to prevent the cheetah from feeling threatened, and the man wisely froze for 10 minutes, allowing him to capture the incredible moment on film. After inspecting the vehicle, the cheetah eventually left, leaving behind a relieved and thrilled tourist, serving as a reminder to respect wildlife and their natural habitats. In the frozen landscape of Labitnangi, Russia, an unexpected encounter took place between a fisherman and an adorable Arctic fox while he was ice fishing. A curious and brave little fox approached him, drawn to the tantalizing smell of fresh fish, and despite the fisherman's initial attempts to shoo the fox away, the persistent little creature refused to give up. In a heartwarming display of kindness, the fisherman eventually relented, offering the fox one of his catch. And the little fox's eyes sparkled with excitement as it claimed its prize, sharing a special bond on the icy waters. This man's lizard is surprisingly affectionate, greeting him like a dog whenever he's called, scurrying towards him with its tail wagging.
Come on, buddy.
And nuzzling its owner in a heartwarming display of their special bond. Photographer Joel Olsen and his crew had a very cute encounter with baby penguins in Antarctica while filming the life of penguins. As he and his team were approached by a group of baby penguins, one of the babies started pecking at his legs. To get a better look, it jumped onto his belly, making for a very cute encounter. Another cute encounter between penguins and 2 photographers in Antarctica was filmed when a group of penguins saw a photographer from a distance and decided to approach the man. Penguins are as curious as cats, and this group came very close to the human, pecking here and there. This might have been a food search, or they were simply seeing something like humans for the first time. Whatever the reason, one thing is sure. This was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for these 2 photographers. The penguins stayed with them, giving them the chance to take close-up shots before leaving. Perhaps the best penguin story you will ever hear, and I think there should be a movie on this story. Dindim, a South American Magellanic penguin, swims an incredible 5,000 miles each year to be reunited with the man who saved his life, João Pereira de Souza, a 70-year-old part-time fisherman from an island village just outside Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. João found Dindim, a tiny penguin, lying on rocks at his local beach, covered in oil and close to death. He nursed Dindim back to health, and after a week, released him on a nearby island. But Dindim returned, calling out for João, and stayed with him for another 11 months before disappearing. Months later, João heard a loud squawk coming from his backyard, and Dindim was there, waiting for him, and the 2 were reunited again. This has been going on every year since, with Dindim traveling up to 5,000 miles in a round trip from breeding locations and then back to see João. João says, "I love this penguin like it's my own child, and I believe the penguin loves me. No one else is allowed to touch him. He pecks them if they do. He lies on my lap, lets me give him showers, allows me to feed him sardines, and to pick him up. To your surprise, there is a movie about the friendship of Dindim and Joao that you must watch, My Penguin Friend, to experience the true story between a human and a cute little penguin. The 2019 Black Summer bushfires devastated Australia's wildlife, affecting 3 billion animals. Many perished or were displaced, with endangered species like koalas losing critical habitat, pushing some closer to extinction and causing significant disruption to ecosystems. In a heart-wrenching moment during rescue efforts, a woman used her t-shirt to save a suffering koala, offering it water in its desperate state. The image of the animal in pain highlighted the severe impact of the fires. But fortunately, the rescue team soon arrived to assist, providing crucial care and hope amidst the devastation. With that, we conclude our video today. Which one of these encounters is your favorite? Do you want to pet a lion or a wolf? Let us know in the comments section below. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel and do not forget to leave a like.